Good evening, live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. Here we present to you tonight's news bulletin. But first, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issues 2 royal decrees. His Majesty the Sultan receives more greetings on the occasion of the glorious 51st National Day. His Majesty the Sultan, the Supreme Commander, issues a royal pardon on a number of inmates on the occasion of the glorious 51st National Day. And His Majesty the Sultan stresses in a royal speech in the booklet on the 32nd anniversary of the establishment of the UNESCO Sultan Qaboos Prize for Environmental Conservation and the protection of the environment is among the priorities of the contents of the development plans in the Sultanate of Oman. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issues 2 royal decrees. Royal Decree number 66/2021, amending some provisions of Royal Decree number 29/2019, appointing members of the Oman Human Rights Commission. Article 1. Appoints the below-mentioned names from the Shura Council, the Foreign Ministry, the Ministry of Labor and Environment Authority as members of the Oman Human Rights Commission, enacting the provisions of Article 1 and 2 from the annex attached to the Royal Decree number 24/2008 as follows. His Excellency Ambassador Sheikh Humaid bin Ali Al Ma'ni, Deputy Chairman, His Excellency Dr. Hamoud bin Ahmed bin Hamid Al Yahyai, Mohammed bin Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Rahi, and Dr. Ahmed bin Abdullah bin Ubaid Marhuz Al Sayrai. Article 2. This decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. Royal Decree number 67/2021 on ratifying the agreement of establishing the Global Dry Land Alliance and amending its protocol. Article 1 ratifies the mentioned agreement and its amending protocol according to the text attached. Article 2. The competent authorities shall deposit the instruments of the ratification of the aforementioned agreement and its amendment protocol in accordance with their provisions. Article 3. This decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sends a cabal of greetings to His Majesty King Mohammed VI of Morocco on the occasion of the independence anniversary of the Kingdom of Morocco. His Majesty the Sultan also sends a cabal of greetings to His Excellency President Eglis Levitis of the Republic of Latvia on the anniversary of the Declaration of the Republic. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has received greetings on the 51st Glorious National Day from His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of the Royal Court. In the greetings, His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of the Royal Court, said that November days are reminiscent of happy celebrations, and today, the 51st Glorious National Day, is marked. The people of Oman, inspired by His Majesty's wise leadership, aspire for further progress and prosperity. His Excellency said that on this auspicious occasion, the personnel of the Diwan of the Royal Court are honored to renew the pledge of allegiance and loyalty and vow to exert their best efforts in performing their national duty. The 18th of November anniversary is an embodiment of a comprehensive renaissance and development where the roadmap was charted by the late Sultan Qaboos bin Said. May the Almighty Allah have mercy on his soul. The Sultanate of Oman takes pride in the royal tradition that His Majesty the Sultan has established for the continuation of the Renaissance March so that the citizens and residents could savor this rich of progress on an atmosphere of dignity and serenity. His Excellency the Minister of the Diwan of the Royal Court concluded by praying to Almighty Allah to assist His Majesty with the divine care, grant good health and guard him as a symbol of pride for this nation. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq today received greetings from His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nu'mani, Minister of the Royal Office, Head of the Office of the Supreme Commander of the occasion, on the occasion of the 51st Glorious National Day. His Excellency stated the greetings by saying that may the Almighty Allah protect His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, and added that with their dear homeland, Oman nowadays bedecked in an attire of dignity and grandeur on the same memorable date, a date deeply ingrained in the heart of all those who live in this benign land. It is time to celebrate a renewed pride-worthy anniversary year after year. The magnificent edifice named the Sultanate of Oman has been constructed by sincere hands of its loyal citizens. The 51st National Day is time to celebrate the rebirth of a great nation. History has been witness to the evolution of a grand portrait of this noble nation depicted by citizens who are faithful to Allah, the nation and the Sultan. The valiant held high the banner of the Sultanate of Oman, where humans are empowered and lofty values deeply rooted. Oman has propagated the messages of peace and humanitarianism in all parts of the world, thanks to its balanced policies of dialogue and non-interference in the internal affairs of others. His Excellency continued to say that may Allah protect His Majesty, and under His Majesty's wise leadership, the Sultanate of Oman is pressing ahead with its march of progress, its people rallying in tight-packed columns, armed with faith in Almighty Allah, prove their aptitude to stand any exceptional test, because their solidarity is stronger than all calamities. His Excellency, the Minister of the Royal Office, concluded that all personnel at His Majesty's Royal Office are all honored to renew the pledge of allegiance and vow to remain as honest guards for this nation, sacrificing everything dear in defending it, and praying to Almighty Allah to grant His Majesty continuous health and assist His Majesty the Sultan with divine care. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq also received greetings from His Excellency Abdul Malik bin Abdullah Al Khalili, Chairman of State Council, on the occasion of the glorious 51st National Day. In his greetings, His Excellency the Chairman of the State Council said,
"On the occasion of the National Day, on his behalf and on behalf of the honorable members of the State Council and its great Secretariat, it gives him great honor to extend sincere congratulations to His Majesty, coupled with their heartfelt prayers, to grant His Majesty good health, happiness, and long life, and to grant Oman and its people more security, stability, and welfare." He said that His Majesty's prosperous era has brought very important achievements, represented in the modernization of laws and regulations and restructuring of the state's administrative apparatus. At the end of his greetings, His Excellency the Chairman of State Council expressed allegiance and loyalty to His Majesty's approach, stipulated in the first speech that included the pillars of national work, taking into account political, economic, health, and social changes in the world, praying to Almighty Allah to crown His Majesty with success.
His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has received greetings on the occasion of the 51st Glorious National Day from His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal Al Ma'wali, Chairman of the Shura Council, in which he said that on his behalf and on behalf of the members of the Shura Council, he is honored to greet His Majesty on the 51st National Day, wishing that Almighty Allah would protect His Majesty and grant him good health and long life. His Excellency expressed his appreciation of the royal directives of His Majesty the Sultan to accelerate the pace increase of services, the employment of youth, and preparing elaborate plans and programs. His Excellency, the Chairman of the Shura Council, concluded that the Omani Shura March is progressing in line with His Majesty's royal visionary planning. His Majesty's support for sustainable development constitutes an element of pride for this nation, and pray to the Almighty Allah to bestow His riches on His Majesty and to protect His Majesty and Omani people, praying to eternalize the bounties of security, peace and stability on the Sultanate of Oman. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq received greetings from His Excellency Lieutenant General Hassan bin Mohsen Al-Shuraiqi, Inspector General of Police and Customs, on the occasion of the glorious 51st National Day, in which he said he is honored, along with the affiliates of the Royal Oman Police, to forward to His Majesty's sincere greetings and best wishes on this glorious occasion, asking the Almighty to return such a happy occasion on His Majesty with health, and to Oman and its nations with permanent welfare. He added that the Royal Oman Police has witnessed an accelerated growth, development and preparedness in all fields until it has reached or achieved a prominent status among its counterparts around the world, thanks to Allah and the continuous support extended to the institution. He also added that the Omani citizens, men and women, have competed to be part of the police service and have proven their capacity to observe and apply modern police sciences in their delicate tasks with total accuracy and high standard, which have won them always praises and cooperation from their fellow citizens in this country. His Excellency Lieutenant General Hassan bin Mohsen Al-Shuraiqi, Inspector General of Police and Customs, concluded his greetings by saying that affiliates of Royal Oman Police, while celebrating this gracious occasion, are keen and persistent to perform their duties with more efficiency and readiness to serve their country and its security, asking the Almighty Allah to protect His Majesty and endow him with health and happiness. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq received greetings from His Excellency Lieutenant General Saeed bin Ali Al-Hilali, Head of Internal Security Service, on the occasion of the glorious 51st National Day. In the greetings, he extended sincere greetings and best wishes to His Majesty, praying to Almighty to bless His Majesty and protect him for the dear homeland as a source of strength and pride. His Excellency, the Head of the Internal Security Service, concluded his greetings by expressing allegiance and loyalty to protect the soil of the dear country, praying to Almighty Allah to bestow upon His Majesty the Sultan happiness and welfare. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, the Supreme Commander, issued a royal pardon to a number of inmates convicted of different cases. And official sources from Royal Oman Police said that the number of those who were honored by the royal pardon reached 252 inmates, 84 of which were foreign ones. The royal pardon comes in coincidence with the celebrations of the 51st Glorious National Day and in consideration for the inmates' families. The royal speech of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq in the booklet on the 32nd anniversary of the establishment of the UNESCO Sultan Qaboos Prize for Environmental Conservation, in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, the protection of the environment and the preservation of its various natural resources are among the priorities of the contents of the development plans in the Sultanate of Oman, based on the firm conviction that caring for the environment and its capabilities is a global responsibility that is not bounded by the political borders of countries, which is what the international community should be keen on by providing all available capabilities to preserve the ecosystem, preserve its natural resources, develop action plans to achieve the goals of sustainable development at the national, regional, and international levels, and spreading awareness of the importance of maintaining the balance of the environment and investing in its resources to the extent that achieves development and ensures its sustainability for future generations. The Sultanate of Oman has been keen to enhance its international presence in all regional and international arenas by participating in global conferences. These interests culminated in the launch of the UNESCO Sultan Qaboos Prize for Environmental Conservation in 1989, which is the first Arab award to be awarded at the global level as a contribution to raising global awareness towards the environment. This award comes in the midst of development expansion and the great transformations that the world is witnessing at an increasing pace due to the use of data of scientific progress and the Industrial Revolution, which had direct effects on the environment. Preserving the environment is one of the basics of the 5-year development plans and national strategies that set the primary principles for linking development with preserving the environment and protecting its resources and systems in a sustainable manner. We look forward to strengthening national ambitions so that the efforts of specialists and workers in the environmental field will bear fruit in accordance with the priorities of Oman Vision 2040 and its objectives in achieving adequate protection of all types of effective and balanced ecological models for the protection of the environment, the sustainability of its natural resources, the quality of environments and their productive capacity, the use of biodiversity resources in a sustainable manner, and linking these to development plans and interim requirements in a way that contributes to achieving the desired environmental balance for a better environmental future. While we appreciate the research activities carried out by researchers and academics in the field of preserving natural resources and promoting sustainable livelihoods, we commend the ambitious programs and distinguished efforts undertaken by environmental bodies, organizations, and institutions in preserving biological diversity, and we hope to achieve outstanding achievements in preserving the environment on the social level and the protection of these ecological systems of the environment. We hope that varied resources of the earth will be exploited in a balanced manner that will enable the world to make full use of them, preserve biological diversity, achieve environmental balance, and optimal and sustainable use of natural resources at the same time. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, Her Excellency Dr. Madiha bint Ahmed al-Shaybaniya, Minister of Education, handed over the UNESCO Sultan Qaboos Prize for Environmental Conservation in its 16th edition for the year 2021 to the Malaysian Forest Research Institute in Malaysia and the University of International Cooperation, represented by the Latin American College of Protected Areas, Costa Rica. This was announced by Her Excellency Dr. Audrey Azoulay, Director General of the United Nations for Education, Science and Culture, UNESCO Office of the Man and the Biosphere Program. The Forest Research Institute of Malaysia, established in the year 1929, is one of the leading tropical forest research institutions in the world and works to promote sustainable management and optimal use of forest resources in Malaysia. The University of International Cooperation, through the Latin American College of Protected Areas, is also actively involved in the field of protected areas in various countries of Latin America and the Caribbean, in addition to its efforts in the field of climate change awareness and biodiversity laws. His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for the Defense Affairs, received a written message from His Excellency Mohammed bin Ahmed Al Bawardi, Minister of State for Defense Affairs of the United Arab Emirates. This came when His Highness received His Excellency the Ambassador of the United Arab Emirates accredited to the Sultanate of Oman. During the meeting, His Highness extended his thanks and appreciation to His Excellency, the Minister of State for Defense Affairs of the sisterly United Arab Emirates. The brotherly relations between the two brotherly countries and ways to strengthen them were reviewed, and a number of matters of common interest were discussed. His Highness Sayyid the Yazin bin Haytham Al Said, Minister of Culture, Sports, Youth, received today Sheikh Fahad Nasser Sabah Al Ahmed Al Sabah, Chairman of the Kuwaiti Olympic Committee. During the meeting, they reviewed bilateral relations and exchanged viewpoints to enhance and develop them to serve both countries. In addition, to discuss cooperation aspects existed at sports field. The Royal Hospital has successfully performed the first liver transplantation in the Sultanate of Oman for a 5-year-old child. A statement issued by Oman News Agency said the organ transplant department at the Royal Hospital is performing the first liver transplantation in the Sultanate of Oman for a 5-year-old child, which is a medical achievement at the national level and one of the most important success of the national program for transfer and transplantation of human organs and tissues. A discussion session titled "The Influential Women" was held today at the Omani Women's Association under the patronage of Sayyida Basma bint Fakhri Al Said. More details coming up in this report.
During the discussion session, a number of entrepreneurs shared their success stories in the business world with the attendees and talked about the important pillars of success in this field, how they started, and the challenges they faced starting up their enterprises. They also shared tips and advices on how to start up and run a small or medium enterprise.
Today, of course, we're here with amazing women who have done amazing businesses that are very, very different. And I think this is something we need to always talk about. We need to do different businesses, things that are needed for our society, and also try and always be passionate about what we're doing, and also try and always be find a kind of way to make it interesting for others also to do the same. So I'm happy and all the best for everyone here today.
Thank you very much for the Omani Women Association for involving me in speaking about my small, medium enterprise business. It is such a pleasure to be here, and Taj Al Yasmin is one of the companies that cater to all kinds of clients in the Sultanate. And it is about housekeeping by hour. We cater to clean and most of the clients in the Sultanate of Oman.
Short films were played at the event to introduce the attendees to the businesses of the participating entrepreneurs. At the end of every discussion, the attendees were given the opportunity to ask questions to learn from the experiences of those entrepreneurs. Omani women have indeed paved their way in every field, including the world of business. The inspiring stories we heard today are only examples of many more stories of success narrated by Omani women. Sousan Ali Al-Sulaymaniya, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Thank you, Sausan. There, Oman Development Bank seeks to foster the culture of entrepreneurship among community members. It held an exhibition for entrepreneurs at Dakhliya Governorate to present their business and promote their products. More details also coming up in this report.
A Dakhliya Entrepreneurs Exhibition was organized by Oman Development Bank to present the businesses that benefited from the various financing facilities, products, as well as technical and knowledge support of the bank to the community and promote their products.
Oman Development Bank was a partner with the group for a long for several projects, either startup of new projects or the expansions. It is supporting us, and we are using the financial facilities which offered by the bank in developing our businesses. In fact, the entrepreneurship is the future of the country, and I urge the youth to go with the, startup of their own businesses.
20 SMEs from a Dakhiliya governorate have established themselves well in the market and overcome many challenges, especially during the corona pandemic.
We established in 2010, and we get the financial support from ODB to given the chance for development our products and our service. For the many, we are manufacturer for the many products like LV panels and also the control panels and BAM control panels. Our customer is Oman, inside Oman, out Oman. Also in the GCC, we supply many products like Qatar, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia. And also we supply for Morocco stem panels for the crusher panels and many things.
Our specialty is design. We offer many services like interior, exterior and landscape design. Oman Development Bank has given us financial support, which helped us to establish our business and grow in the market.
The exhibition was held within the efforts made by Oman Development Bank to serve youth projects and foster the culture of entrepreneurship among community members and acquaint them with the principles of establishing startups. Inspiring stories of Omani entrepreneurs who have invested their innovative ideas into pioneer value-added projects through which they contribute to the national economy. صالح بخلفان الرحبي, Sultanate of Oman Television, الداخلية Governorate.
This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issues 2 royal decrees. His Majesty the Sultan receives more greetings on the occasion of the glorious 51st National Day. His Majesty the Sultan, the Supreme Commander, issues a royal pardon on a number of inmates on the occasion of the glorious 51st National Day. And His Majesty the Sultan stresses in a royal speech in the booklet on the 32nd anniversary of the establishment of the UNESCO Sultan Qaboos Prize for Environmental Conservation that the protection of the environment is among the priorities of the contents of the development plans in the Sultanate of Oman. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman Television. From me and the entire news team, we thank you for joining us, wish you a pleasant evening and good night to all of you.